Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Girl Be Free podcast. I'm your host, Siobhan, where I'm going to inspire and motivate you to show up for yourself. So, this week I am loving a new app that I just discovered called Color Noir APP. Color Noir app. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Anywho, I just discovered it on Instagram. I was like scrolling and looking through someone's stories. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is super cute. But it's a coloring book app and it's specifically for Black women and men. So it's all things Blackness, which I absolutely love. And it's perfect for a little self care. So if you're like me and you love to color, but I don't do it as much as I would like to. I think this app is super cute because you can literally just choose your colors and just color away as long as you feel like it. So I think it's a really cool app. I'll link to it in the show notes. Let me know if you check it out and if you like it. Again, you can always follow me on Instagram at BeFree Project. So this week I want to talk about 4 reasons not to give up on yourself. So I did this IG live last week and I thought the topic was really good. And this happens a lot where I talk about something on IG and I'm like, you know what? I want this to live forever. So I'm going to record a podcast episode on it. So if you're not following me on IG, definitely do so because I love going live and just having conversations with you guys. But I think this is a great way as well to keep this content going. So then that way you can revisit it at any time. So we're going to kick it off. 4 reasons not to give up on yourself. And more so than anything, I feel like this message is for me. And I'm sure if I need to hear it, then there's other people that need to hear it as well. Because life can be a lot sometimes and it can be overwhelming and you feel like quitting and you feel like giving up and just starting over and you're frustrated and you don't know what to do and all of that jazz. I totally get it. So I'm going to give you 4 practical things I just want you to think about on why you should not give up. Number 1 is somebody needs you. And I know that may be hard to believe, but there's someone watching. There's someone inspired by you. There's someone that sees you and you're the reason that they're able to keep going. And whether they tell you or not, they see you, they're watching you, they're inspired by you in some way, shape, or form. And if you give up, then that means they possibly may give up too. Now, that's not to put a lot of pressure on yourself, but just to think about it, right? So I'll share a story with you. I remember several years ago, I received a email from someone and she wanted to take her life. And she had just recently lost her mother. She lost her job. She was raising her son on her own. And she just felt like giving up on life altogether. And so I was emailing her and I shared some practical things that I thought would be helpful. Ended up giving her like a suicide prevention like phone number and to connect with a friend of mine who focuses in that area. And so some months later, she did reach back out to me and told me she got a new job and she was in therapy and just doing so much better. And she thanked me for being there for her in that moment. Now, let me point out, I had never met her in my life. She just followed Be Free Project. I know she was subscribed to my newsletter, but she just followed me and decided that she felt safe enough to reach out to me to share that very, very personal information. And I was able to share something with her to encourage her to keep going. And that has happened to me more than once. And I'm sharing this because I just show up and I do my part. I don't know all of the people all over the world that I'm impacting, but somebody is watching and someone needs to hear this podcast every week. Someone needs to see me show up on social media, whether they ever send me a DM, whether they ever send me an email or tell me they're watching. And because I continue to show up in some way, shape, or form, it's encouraging them to keep going as well. And so that's my motivation. It's not my only motivation, but it is motivation for me to keep doing it because I know that there's somebody who needs me. They need to hear how I deliver things. They need to experience my light and my joy and my transparency and my vulnerability. Like they need to experience all of that so that they know that they're not alone. So the same thing for you. There's someone watching, whether they say something or not, and they are encouraged by you. And so if for no other reason, I want you to keep going and not give up because there's somebody who needs you. Whatever gift that you have, whatever dream that you're working on, the goals that you want to pursue and accomplish in your life, someone needs to experience it so that their life can be better. Number two, starting over isn't fun. Um, and that's for me personally. I can give you an example of just when I'm off and on at the gym or off and on like running. I don't like starting over because it's like you have to get into that whole routine over and over again. So you can apply that to other areas of your life, if whether there's, you know, a goal that you're working on right now. Like if you give up now, right, then you're going to have to start over again and again and again. And there's so many people that I come in contact with that that's a habit or a routine for them, is that they start and stop over and over again, and they can never seem to push towards the next thing. And so because starting over is not fun, when it comes to like reaching your goals and whatever that thing is that you're working towards, it's not a fun experience. And so if you don't like the idea of starting over, then why don't you push through, right? Number three is going to tie into that, is that if you keep starting over, you're never going to know what it feels like to get to the other side, to finally reach your goal. And that is my motivation. I need to keep going and keep showing up because I need to know how this story is going to unfold. And I know that I put in a lot of work. I mean, I'm telling you, I put in a lot of work, not just with Be Free Project, but doing the inner work for myself to grow. And the reason I'm not going to give up, because I've put in too much time, too much effort, that I need to see how this is going to unfold. Like I need to get to the beauty of the story. Not that it's not beautiful now, because it definitely is, but I want to see more transformation and more growth and all of that jazz, more abundance, right? And so the reason that I don't want you to give up on yourself is because you need to finally see what it's going to look like on the other side of you putting in all the work that you're doing. And if you're listening to me week after week, right? And you're doing the inner work and you're going to therapy, you're reading the books, you're listening to the podcast, you're reflecting on your life, you're pushing past your fears, you're writing down your goals, you are checking things off your list, creating the vision board, traveling more, living life out loud, having fun. Like if you're doing all of the things, trust that that is enough for the space that you're in, and don't give up on yourself. Keep doing it because you're doing it so that you can fully blossom into the woman that you desire to become. And keep in mind, and I have to tell clients this as well as members in my BeFree Inner Circle, is that we are all on a journey. This is not a race. You know, like with Nipsey Hussle, like just thinking about like he said over and over again, like this is a marathon. And I'm embracing that. This is a marathon that I am running. So I'm going to pace myself, take my time, be okay with my pace, the way that I'm going, and not comparing myself to other people. I will say that is hard, but it's definitely possible. And then lastly, number four is that growth takes time. Okay. It is not, as I was just saying, it's no overnight success or anything like that. Like when you're looking to change your life, it takes time, especially when you're doing this inner work and you're healing and forgiving and growing. Like it's a lot of work. And it's not like, oh, and I said this, I believe, on another podcast where, oh, I read the Four Agreements and now my life is supposed to be better the next day. Or I read all these self-help books and now my life is about to be banging. No, you got to put that stuff to work. And it takes work putting it to work, right? And so embrace the process. This is a marathon. This is your life and it's no one else's but yours, right? And so embrace all of it and stop being so hard on yourself. And when I say that to you, I'm also saying that to me, because I feel like last week alone, 2 or 3 people was like, Siobhan, you just need to be more kind to yourself. And I'm like, I am being kind. I don't know how I'm not, but I do have a tendency of putting a lot of pressure on myself. And so I am taking my own advice as well as the advice of others to be more kind, not to be too hard on myself, and give myself more compassion. So if you need to hear that, there you go. And then I want to give you a bonus thing to kind of think about. Define your why, right? So when you feel like quitting, when you feel like giving up, always go back to why did you get started in the beginning? Why does this matter to you? Whatever it is that you're working on, and let your why be your momentum to keep going. One thing I will say for every single person that's doing anything life changing um, one thing that I will say for anyone doing life changing work is that you need community and you need accountability. And if you don't have that, you're going to constantly be giving up over and over and over again. And that's not what I want for you. So I invite you to join the BeFree Inner Circle, which is a community space of women all over the world who are supporting, encouraging, uplifting, inspiring one another to keep going. And I'm going to share with you a message that one of my, I call them my BFFs, my BeFree family. I want to share with you what one of the members said because I think it will, it really made me happy and it warmed my heart. Well, let me just read it. And actually, Jamie Best wrote this, and she said, being a part of a sisterhood has been amazing to say the least. I love bouncing my ideas and having access to immediate responses. There are a lot of people that will see you, ask questions, and know the answer but refuse to help you out. That is not what this group is about. I appreciate every individual in the BeFree Inner Circle. Thank you, Siobhan Sudbury, for this beautiful card. It's the little things that count. One thing I can say is that Siobhan wants us to win and conquer our goals. Siobhan has been a huge impact with me pushing my passion and Helpful Living magazine. I appreciate your friendship and your willingness to help out when I am stuck. God is going to take you places, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for you. So thank you, Jamie, for that. And I wanted to share that message because it speaks volumes to what I am passionate about. Like Jamie said, I just want to see us all win. And that's why I'm sharing this message today about not giving up. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to see all of us win in our life, whatever that looks like. And so when you're connected to me, I'm going to support you. I'm going to help you, whatever resources you need, connections, what have you, you're going to get it from me. And that's what every single member of the BeFree Inner Circle can honestly say, is that I am there to support. And every single month I have live chats with them on a different topic. So this week we're talking about how to be more productive and to get things done. So if you're looking for a community, an online community, and not just Facebook groups and not just being on Instagram, but you want to be around positive, like-minded women who are having real conversations and they're supporting one another and really start to see things happen. I mean, these ladies in this group are killing it. Like they're building houses and, launching their websites and online magazines. I mean, there's so many beautiful things that's happening in the group that I know you would love to be a part of. So definitely go to BeFreeInnerCircle.com to learn more. I personally invite you to come hang out with us. You're going to love it. If you love this podcast, just think about the BeFree Inner Circle being 100 times better than that. This week's action step is to really just affirm to yourself that you're not going to give up, that you're going to keep standing, you're going to keep going, you're going to keep growing, and you're not going to give up on yourself. Affirm it, say it out loud to yourself, say it in the mirror. I'm going to keep going no matter what. All right, so don't forget to connect with me on Instagram at BeFree Project. Every week I go live with our BeFree chat, so then that way you can engage with me live. So definitely make sure you follow me at BeFree Project. You can subscribe to my weekly newsletter at befreeproject.com/newsletter. And then lastly, snap a pic of this podcast and share it on your social media platform. And be sure to tag me at BeFree Project. You can find links to everything that I shared on this episode in the show notes. And until next time, girl, be free.